Afternoon.
Hi guys, welcome. Hello. We're just getting set up, making sure that we'll have the star of the show joining us any moment. How are we all? It's all your evening.
Hello. Good.
Yeah, it's my
Sorry,
morning.
forgot to turn my camera.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, glad you guys could join us. Hope we got some more people that said they were keen to come this morning, hopping on. So I'll give everyone a few minutes to get settled here.
Hey, Flory.
Some of you guys know each other, I think, around the show. I think it's really cool. There's a lot of people in our community that do know each other, and that's really awesome. Either in real life, and we got some people. We found out that there's a few people that live in the same city. I think there's a few of you in Chicago, isn't there? And yeah, and few obviously in the US. There's lots of you, so there's a few people in major cities like I think Washington, New York, Chicago. There's a few, but obviously, and a few of you are all in similar communities and things like that. So that's really cool. Um, I'm near Julia is hopefully she's all right. I'm just emailing her to see if she's popping in okay. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. Lovely to see some new faces in here this morning. If this is your first masterclass with us, welcome to the She Is Our Masterclass series. We have these every week for free with different expert AI speakers and thought leaders from around our community on various different topics and aspects of AI, which is exciting. This one will be awesome. Julia Lewis, long time, creative director. We love like the whole concept of video. AI video is obviously a hot topic, and a few of you are really like masters in that space, and of us are just learning and playing and but this sort of thing always changes so fast. So it's yeah, awesome to see what she has to share with us today and be really exciting. If any of you what we do is have questions or thoughts, drop them in the chat as we go. And we like to do a Q&A at the end, but we'll make sure that everyone's got ample opportunity to ask questions and interact. Yeah. So we'll share some links and resources as we go, and I think Julia's got something that she'd like to follow up with as well afterwards for everybody. So we'll make sure we share that all around. Yeah. And if anyone's got any questions or thoughts, but we'd like to keep them in the chat and yeah, so it should be really exciting. I'm just trying to. Oh, I just saw my AI films up for the People's Choice Award, Kimberly. Whoa! Yeah. Okay, everyone go vote for Kimberly. Yes. Amazing. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Yeah, Denny. Yeah, newbie with video. I'm going now. Yes. Oh my gosh. I know. Lots of, yeah. Same as me. I play, but I'm like, oh my God, I just want to make something that looks like what Kim makes. And it's just like a movie. It's like I'm like, it's incredible. It just blows my mind. Yeah, I don't even know how to like link stuff together yet. I'm like would love to practice that and see how you pull together that something that just looks that good and classy. So yeah, everyone go vote for Kimberly. All over the show, everywhere. Yeah, incredible. Okay. Sorry, I'm not sure where we're lost Julia somewhere. I just see if I can reach her. If anyone wants to put your hand up, oh yep, video expert, um, learner, newbie, what you want to learn. Or just wait for Julia. Just try and get her now. She was all ready to go, so something must have happened. If any of you, I think you're mostly in our community. If anyone's not in our community, we are a inclusive global collective of AI enthusiasts and practitioners worldwide. For anyone new here. It's pretty amazing. We are open to everyone, women and men, even though we love championing the voices of women in AI. We do definitely have a solid head Mike and Glenn and everyone out, all our male ambassadors and allies in the community as well, which is epic because it takes everyone to help us make an impact and make a difference in AI. How many times can we vote for Kimberly? I know. No, vote all the time. Also, we still got voting open for your competition. Kimberly's also running a competition, and we hope that everyone can chime in and vote for that and support her as well. Yeah, which is super epic also, and we look forward to your viewing party and everything else like that. But yeah, hopefully we're getting lots of votes in for that too. Angel, welcome, Angel, everyone. We said hello, Glenn. Awesome. Jenny, welcome. Welcome, everyone.
While we're waiting, Amanda, do you want me to tell everyone about the viewing
Yes,
party?
yes. Oh, please do, Kimberly, let everyone know
Okay,
about your competition and your event. Yes.
awesome, awesome. Okay, so as Amanda alluded to, I hosted the Playground Pastime AI film contest, and the contest is closed at this point. We have all of our entries. We got 90 films, and I was really excited about that. I was kind of like in shock, like, ah. So we got films in from all over the world. And we will be announcing the winner on June 1st. So the judges are, working at it. She is AI Magazine is our editorial sponsor for the contest, and we're really happy and excited about that. But on June 1st, we'll announce the winners. But on June 5th, we're going to have an all-day viewing party where we will, at the top of every hour, we'll be showing some of the videos that were entered into the contest, some of the honorable mentions, as well as some of the winners of the contest. Luma has one of our sponsors as well, and so every hour, starting at noon, Chicago Central Standard Time, until 8 p.m. We're going all day. And so we'll have interviews, we're going to have panel discussions, we're going to have educational sessions. And again, at the top of every hour, we'll be viewing a video from the contest. And up until the prime time hour, we'll be viewing the winners. And so we're really excited about that. Our winner is going to win $1,500 and like I said, Luma, she is AI Magazine. They're going to be featured in the magazine for the June, I believe June or July issue. And so we're really excited about that because this is going to kick off the next contest, which we're looking forward to.
Awesome.
And
Thank
that's
you. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's a great initiative, and I bet there's going to be oh, can't wait till the viewing party and watch everyone's entries. Oh my gosh, they're going to be amazing. So yeah, if you want to drop a link in the chat and make sure that anyone that's not already there, Kim has a link to check that out, and we'll make sure that everyone has that. I'm sorry, I'm not there making sure that we've got Julia coming. She's not been held up somewhere. Something's happened. Anyone else know her? I've messaged her on Discord and LinkedIn and email. I chickened. Oh. Oh, Daddy. No more chickening, girlfriend. This community is here to support you guys to be creative and put your work out there and do it. Yeah, no more chickening. we'll get out there and do it. Yeah.
If and I will offer this, if for some reason something has happened and Julie can't make it or whatever, I'd be happy to share some of my video strategies and techniques, and so
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Kimberly. All right.
I'm-
Yeah, so the link in Discord one worked. Okay. Yes, please. Do you want to maybe do that now? Oh, where'd you go? Would you like to do that now, Kim? Well, I'm just trying to get hold of Julia, but would love you
oh,
to just share
sure.
screen or share your tip. That'd be amazing.
No problem. I can do that. So everybody, you know, Jenny, I will make sure that you all have the sign up for the viewing party. We're working on that right now, working on a swag bag as well for everybody. So I'll have all of that, but we're going to be streaming live. So I'll let you guys know you'll get something very soon. So don't have anything prepared. I'm just kind of jumping in and going at bat for Julie until she's able to get here. But one, I have been doing AI film videos rather since 2023. And what I have found is that it improves like AI every single day. I started out on Runway and then I kind of moved over to a lot of others. So I am a creative partner with Runway as well as Luma and with Imagine. And so um, I would guess maybe I would ask, what is the biggest question that you guys have about AI video and how to get the video, you know, put out what you're looking to put out? I've specialized in photorealistic images. And so I do a lot of video that look like films. And one of the things that I will tell you is that each of the video platforms, to me, and everyone else who works with that can tell their experience, they're good at certain things. And I tend to move around to different video platforms based on what it is that I would like, what my end result would be. So I am well versed in Luma, Runway, Halo, Kling, and I not too much in any of the others. Used to work in Pika a little bit, but I found that some of the others will do what I need them to do a whole lot better. Yes, Danny.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know if you said Dee Dee or Danny. Sorry. Um, I work with photorealism and cinematic, um, also cinematic photorealism. I use uh, uh, fairies, and I want to work with uh, upcycling um, companies, businesses to bring them out. And I want to use that. I'm trying to use film to get my fairies to gaze into new outfits. So using the same outfit, I have been able to, like chisel down into a different outfit. Like say something is um like Marc Jacobs and I want it to phase into Vita Monte's and I want it to be smooth, and I have their stories. I needed to have a storyline, and I know that Marc Jacobs, Alexander McQueen at one time had an entire fashion show talking about how fashion is waste. And I want to appeal to the small businesses that are upcycling, want to be seen. There are a lot of them that are hiding. I noticed, I went through YouTube, I went through Pinterest, and they're hiding. You know what I mean? I want them to want to be visible. How can I make a video that's cinematic enough to draw them out? And, I use my fairies because I want them to use that childlike wonder.
So I do apologize. To what is it that you want to draw out?
Um, Women in business that are upskilling. I feel like the engineers of fashion. They're not just using new stuff; they're repurposing. And I want them. I know a lot of them are afraid to show their fashion.
Okay,
And
so basically you want to use AI to show fashion, basically.
yes, I want them to
Okay.
show how I rebuild. I take I have done a lot of and I don't like the outfit, but I don't want to waste the picture. So what I do is I chisel down the outfit until it's something that I like. And then I do it, let's say reminiscent of Alexander McQueen. But I want to learn how to face the video from each, my one fairy into each outfit. I want her to face into it, like walking down into each outfit. And I haven't been able to do that. It ends up being very choppy.
So you're trying to create a runway show. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, and I want it to be, yeah, and I
So,
want it to be very smooth. And when
so
she walks, it's not phasing well.
okay. So I think that okay, so I've seen people do that and they may have a specific software that they're working with. So let me just say this. What I have found is that your video, the key to great video is in creating a great original image. So if you're creating an image and you're in that photorealistic realm and you want, let's say it's someone walking down a runway. You can't, what I have learned, and anyone else here that works with video can chime in. You have to have an image in action. You have to have an image in motion. Because the video picks up and it takes its cues from the original image that you place in it. So if you have just this portrait of someone, and if you have that image too close, meaning you're too close to the screen, it's not going to make the image do anything because the
Okay.
image is too close. What I have found is you have to back up off of the image. You have to show the entire image. You have to either prompt it so that the entire image is in the frame, or you have to manipulate mid-journey and decrease the size of the image so that now it'll impose what should be there. And then once you take that image and you put it in whatever the video platform is, then you have to prompt it to walk, etc. Now, what I have found is that there are particular platforms that work better with people walking. Like for instance, Kling. Kling is very good when it comes to people walking.
Yeah.
Luma's very good. To me, runway is hit or miss. And I'm saying
Yeah.
that from a creative partner point of view. So I would say to you, that's the best advice I can give you at this point, is that you want to take it from that particular, angle of how you start off with the image and then how you go from there.
Okay.
Okay. So
And
with that said,
I do have sorry. I do have some that are like mid twirling, like they're like I have them in the forest and they're in a dress and they're twirling and the dress does look like it's moving. So,
right.
and I don't
Well,
like I don't know which word to
Well,
use.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, and this is what I tell people who take my classes all the time. AI is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be that picture person walking down the runway, twirling in their outfit, etc. And sometimes my best videos come from my biggest mistakes and from the
Yes.
biggest oops in there. And so you have to kind of just improvise. Nothing's going to be, it's not going to be perfect. It really is not. But you're going to get some perfection from imperfection. So that's what I would go with.
Right.
Are there any other questions that others have? What's that?
How do you prompt?
Okay, you're breaking up.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you're breaking.
Okay, I'll just put it in the chat. How do you prompt it
Okay,
to phase?
to do what?
Put phase into the new outfit.
Phase?
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by that.
So I have her in one outfit and I have her turn around and I want her into the new outfit.
So now you're talking about keyframes.
Okay.
So let's do this. Let's do this. Let me, since I wasn't prepared to present, but I can answer any questions that you all have. It sounds as if you're talking about keyframes. So let me go back to the basics before I talk to about keyframes.
Sure.
So, all right. So everyone, what I would say to you is this, and I'll share my screen and just show you some of the things that I have done recently. let's see here. All right, let me share. Okay, so um, I recently did a video where it was sort of like, I guess you could say it was kind of like Mad Max type stuff. And I wanted to show movement. Okay. Um, so what I would do is this. Let me show you the original images first, because I always emphasize that images are that is the key to having an awesome video, is starting off with an awesome image. And so whether you use Midjourney or whatever it is that you're using, you want to always have a great first image. So let me pull up my Midjourney real quick here. Oh, where is it? Okay, right here. All right, let me pull this down. And we'll go here. All right. And I apologize. I have 50 different windows open. All right. Okay, let's go back to sharing again. Okay, so here is my let's go to my organize here. So here's my Midjourney, and I'll just show you some of the images that I created for this scene that I wanted to do. All right. So this is okay. So here's something really good here that I can show you guys. Okay, so I wanted to create this whole scene where you have this Mad Max type environment, and you have these cars that are just, that are speeding off, and you have this race going, and you have, people looking at everything that's going on, and all of this stuff that's happening, right? And so in order to do that, I couldn't just prompt give me, a Mad Max type car. I had to say, I want to see the tire. I want to see the tire speeding off and the dust coming off of the actual tire. And so I had to prompt to get images that would be in the moment. And I always talk about that. I always prompt about, having images in the moment. Then I was experimenting with some extensions and, whether or not I wanted her to start her engine and all this other stuff. um I have, this racer, she's fixing her car, and she's going through all of this. I have even the audience, and I just wanted to do it. I always think about, when you're creating video with AI, and if you're doing a film especially, think about what you like. Think about different films that you've seen that you like, or different directors that you've seen that you like. Or if it's going to be something for marketing or advertising, think about different commercials that you've seen that you like. And then think about the fact that you're dealing with AI. And so you're dealing with, you know, you're starting off with just an image, right? And then you're making that image come alive. And so you have to think about, okay, if this was just an image, then it was a photograph. What was the original photograph? And how can I make that come alive? And so, like, for instance, here, I just said, well, you know what? Maybe they would capture the cars, if this was like a drone camera. They would catch the cars above, or they would catch them at the side. And then maybe you'd have, your spectators and, et cetera. So I start off with the image. And then I think about, okay, how do I need to make this move? Do I need to do different camera movements, etc. So I always go to Luma first, because I like Luma and I like what they do. I am a creative partner with Luma, as I said before. I like Runway for scenery. Runway is very good when it comes to scenery. Um, when I need my images to move quickly or to move drastically, like walk away or turn around or something like that, I'll use Clean for that. Okay. So we take these images and put them in Luma. And here are some of the things that, now, just so that you all know, Luma is, you can control camera movements with Luma. You can control all types of things with Luma. Here is one of the images that I put into Luma. Here's the image here. I don't know, I don't think you guys can see it, but it was a very calm, just an image with this smoke and this explosion above head. The way that I prompted to get this type of result was, what I have found is that you have to prompt in the right now, meaning explosion in the background, dystopian cinematic scene. Luma is one of those platforms where it's a language model. They've moved to a language model, and you can talk to it. You can just describe your scene, and then go from there. But you also have, what's great, you have these camera movements down here when you prompt that will give your scenes that extra oomph. Okay. Now, Danny, you brought up the situation of having someone to twirl or having someone to turn or what have you. So in situations like that, you would definitely prompt for that turn. But personally, I would then add a camera motion to that, and I would have the camera to orbit, because yeah, I want her to turn, but if I want to really give it that turn effect, I'm going to actually put a camera movement in there too. What I have found also is that if we were to do this same thing in Runway, which does not have these camera movements, you can always just type in your prompt, camera orbit left, and it understands what it is that you're trying to do. In this situation, I wanted the viewer to feel the explosion. Okay. So that's to me, that's kind of the trick of AI video, is that you really have to put yourself in the seat as if you were in one of those IMAX theaters with the thunder and the movement and everything else. And you have to try to recreate it. So I wanted people to feel this explosion. So what I did was I asked for the handheld camera motions, okay, which I knew would give me that shaky feel. And then I just said explosion in the background. Now, this is a perfect example of, I didn't ask for what I got, but I love what I got, right? And this was what Luma gave me as a result of those particular prompts. And it actually turned out really good. And I used both of these videos. So that's just one example with Luma, how you can really bring your images to life. I'll show you a couple more. Hold on, I'm sorry about the chat. Okay, this is the one that I did not use, and this is an example of when AI does whatever it wants to do. I did not want the car to move. I just wanted the camera to move. And so I didn't end up using that. But let's go to one of the ones where I did use, and it was very good. So remember, I told you guys about, if you want something in motion, you need to have an image that appears to be in motion. Okay. So in this instance, I helped the video platform by giving it an image that it could really work with. And in my original image, I prompted for dust flying up behind the car. I prompted for high speed motion. That was in my original prompt for the image. So when I was able to bring it over into video, this is what I got. And I loved it. So I wanted this to look like the camera was actually in action and in motion. And so I asked for a handheld motion. And then my prompt, if you have anything in fast motion, always use the word dynamic. AI loves dynamic. Okay. And so my prompt was high dynamic speed chase. And then I helped the video platform along, because what video tends to do is it will infer what else needs to come into this frame, right? Because if this is a car in motion, it has to fill in the blanks. And so I have to help to let it know that I want you to keep this as a dystopian scene, as a car race, and they're in a desert. Okay. And then I said sand and dust flying in the air as the cars race past at high speed. And this is what I got, which both were usable in my final video. So that was another instance of how you can manipulate the AI to do what you need it to do in video. Okay. I'm not watching the chat, so I don't know if there are any questions that are coming up.
I put in an example of one of my pictures.
Okay. So here's another one. Again, this time, I wanted the camera to come above the car. Let's see what happens. And this is what I got. I wanted the handheld motion and the same exact prompt, but then I said camera crane up, which is one of the cameras here in the choices. Now, here's an instance where AI video will do whatever it wants, right? So it changed my car in this video. I always get 2 videos so that I can have something to choose from. It changed my car. I couldn't use this one, but I did use this. I didn't use it, but it wasn't a bad video. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else. Again, here's that car. I wanted to get a couple of more examples. Here's another example. Now let me talk to you about let's say this. I think the key to video also is in your final edit. Okay. You're not going to get, again, exactly what you want, but you can edit into whatever it is that you need it to do. Now, I'm going to show you guys the final edit of this video, and you'll see how I kind of merged and put everything together. What I mean by the final edit of the video is this. If you notice how slow this is going, I use Adobe Premiere Pro, and I sped this one frame up so that it looked as if this car was going in fast motion as it spun, like it was spinning out. Okay. So that's the other thing you want to think about. Your edit, you want to think about it's almost like you want to think more about the beginning and the end, and then fill in the in between, if that makes sense to everybody. So my beginning, I start off with that image that's in motion. My end, I think about, this is not a perfect video, but I can edit this enough that you'll get the point, and it'll turn out great. Okay. So that's another video from that. Here's another one. Now, anyone else would have probably looked at this video right here and said, no, I didn't ask for this car to come over like that. But then I thought about it and I said, well, there's a crash. in the car race. So this is actually pretty perfect that he came over, that it pulled this other car into this video. So again, another instance of when video works really well for you. This one I played around with a lot. I wanted to show the workers doing, the pit stop. I wanted to show all of that. So I took, different snippets of, what I could do. Then I wanted the different people there at the race to see the crash. And I wanted to get, them looking, so it's piecing things together. Okay. Yes, I see a hand up.
When you prompted, do you always get two options for videos in that program?
When you are prompting in Luma, you can switch it up and you can have either one or two results that come out. And because
Okay.
I'm a creative partner, I always do two. But if you are paying for it, you are using credits when you have two that come out. But I like to do two.
Okay.
And also everyone, let me also give you some basics in this. There are some AI video platforms where you can upscale. You can upscale your videos in Luma. You can upscale your videos in Runway. If you are on a platform that uses credits, you're absolutely using up more credits when you are upscaling your videos. I personally do not upscale my videos when I am creating videos. If I am only putting videos on social media, I do not upscale. There are some people who do. They upscale 4K, and that's fine. That's fine. You can do that. I prefer not to. What I do is, if I'm creating a video for someone, if I'm being commissioned to create a video, or if I'm creating a video that I'm putting in a contest, or they need to show the video on a large screen, I will then upscale the entire video with oh my God, what's the name of it? Why am I drawing a blank? And they're one of my
Topaz?
sponsors. With what's that?
Topaz? With Topaz
Yes,
upscaler for
yes,
video?
yes,
Okay.
yes. I will use Topaz to upscale the entire project. Now, I will also say to you this: when it comes to upscaling your images, there are some video platforms where if you upscale your image before you put it into the video platform, it may be too large for the video platform. I found that out the hard way. So I will upscale my images if I know that I'm only working in certain video platforms. All right. So so that's just a little tip, a little nugget right there. Let me see. Before I come to you, Danny, let me see if anybody else has any other questions in the chat. And again, guys, I'm just kind of filling in. Yep. Okay, so I'll continue on since she can't join us today. Okay, go ahead, Danny. Okay, Danny, I think you got a
And
bad
also the
connection.
question was,
I think you have a bad connection because you're going in and out.
okay, I'll come back to, can you hear me now or no?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, in the group chat, I put one of my dresses in motion.
Mm-hmm.
She's in motion in there. Also, I have NVIDIA Studio, and I'm attaching RTX soon, and I'm hoping to get a hybrid, and then hopefully, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do with that yet, but I want to develop that into something. But the picture in there, I hope you can see it, is one of my girls, and she's twirling, and I don't know if you can see how that one is in motion right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, the only thing that you would need to do, you need to just prompt in motion. You just need to put in a prompt that would indicate that she is moving in motion. Or if you have another image of her in a different pose, you can do what's
Mm-hmm.
called keyframes. And I'll get to that. I'll get to the keyframes in 1 second here.
Thing I'm worried about is the clothing change.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You use a
Oh,
keyframe.
okay.
Okay. So yes, upscale, Glenn, yes. When it comes to upscaling the images, I'm talking about upscaling in Midjourney. I absolutely could not upscale with Topaz and then put my images into a video platform. They would be way too large and it would take way too long. So what I do sometimes is I will upscale the really critical images in Midjourney and then put them into the video platform. Um, because remember, we're upscaling the entire project at the end. At least that is my workflow. Now it may be something different for everyone else. Okay. Um, I'm gonna try to let me find. I had a project that I did with a woman who was in a dress and who was twirling, and this is what I mean by having keyframes. I can't find. I know I won't be able to find the images that I had or where I put them in, what particular platform I put them in. But here, let me share my screen one more time here. And let's see here. Okay, so so what I mean by keyframes is this. Runway has keyframes. I'm sorry. Luma has keyframes. Runway does not. Kling does. Halo does not, if I'm not mistaken. I may have my does and does not wrong, but I know for a fact Runway does not. I have better luck with keyframes in Luma. Like I said, everyone else's experience may be different. So here's what I mean by keyframes. So if you notice here that when you are adding in, let me find one where it worked really well. When you want your image to start off doing one thing and you want them to end up doing something totally different, you would have, and you have two images, even if their clothes have changed, whatever it may be, you want to get image A from point A to point B, and you want that to change. So one of those that I did that on was this one right here. So this is in Luma. And I had these images where I wanted there to be this really nice flow from one image to the other so that it looked as if there was this flow of transition and this fluid, milky like thing going on here. And so what I did was I had to create all the images first that I wanted to flow from one to the other. Okay. So let's go here. So here are the two images. And if you notice, they're flowing from one to the other. How did I achieve that? I achieved that by having the start image. If you see down here at the bottom, here's the start image. And then here's the end image, how I wanted them to end. Well, you can't just, well, you could just put the images in and just see what happens. There are a lot of times where I don't even put a prompt into the prompt, but I wanted to give the AI some help in how I wanted this to all transition. So I said a wave of pink, because that's how it starts off in the background. A wave of pink flies through and transforms the models. Okay. So transforms is one of the keywords that I use that works well for me that will create that flow. And so here is what happened. After I hit start, it did a nice little flow transform into the second person. Now, I think I ended up using this one right here at the top. So that's just one way. Camera static. I wanted the camera to remain right in that frame. I didn't want the camera to move with them or any of that. And that's how I was able to achieve that. So then here's another one. Here's the next one where I tried it again. But this time, well, no, I'm sorry. That was just that one person. Here's the next one. So here was another one where it did something really kooky and it had like this clay type woman coming in. And again, my whole point is that you just have to play with it. But if you notice, I said waves of color transform. So your words are really key as to what you will get when you're trying to achieve keyframes. So let me show you one more keyframe that I did when you're trying to have transformations. This is one here. Yeah, this is another one. Now this one, I didn't prompt at all. Okay. I did not prompt this one at all. And this is what it came up with. So I would say if you have enough credits, try with a prompt, try without a prompt. Okay. Um, here's another one. And I think I ended up using this one. Now, the one thing about Luma is that Luma will then, after you prompt it, after you generated your image or your video, it will give you this description here of what it actually did to give you an idea of maybe how you can prompt it in the future. Okay. Does anybody else here use Luma and Runway and all of these and they find this to be true? Jump in anytime. If you do. Okay. Let me pull up Kling and I'll pull up Halo and I want to show you guys some really cool stuff that they will do that I've used in past videos. And then I'll try to show you guys the end video, the result of that one dystopian scene that I did. All right, let me stop sharing real quick one more time. I tell you, it pays to always work on your computer 24/7. You never know when you have to present. Let's see here. All right. I'm just kind of closing out some windows here so that I can get to it. Any other questions?
Yeah, you know the keyframes. If for example you're trying to make a long extended video with like one after the other, so
Okay.
would it be that you do so the first two, so one and two, and then you do the second one and the third one, and then the third one and the fourth one. So you're always like starting off with the last one you left, so then it looks
Yes.
like it's like a okay, all right, yeah, thanks.
Yes. And I've done videos like that. So keep in mind that, and this is just my experience. Most of you can do two different ways to extend videos. You can take one image and you can continuously ask the video creator, the video platform to extend that video. Runway will do it, Luma will do it, and Kling will do it. Okay. You can ask for it to extend, but I have found that after 3 times of extending a video, I lose the integrity of the original image. So I never really go over maybe twice extending an image. So you may get about 15 to 20 seconds of, video on one image, and it may not end up looking that great, after so many extensions. So you have to be careful with that. I'm sorry, guys, my computer is going, I don't know what's going on here. It's going at a snail's pace. Any other questions real quick while I pull up the Halo and Clean?
Oh, in Canva, there's like when you want if you do a video in Canva, for example, instead of doing one in CapCut, I think in Canva they have like two options when you want to download it. They can have just the regular and then they have one which is good enough for streaming. That would be one like you could just stick on YouTube, right? Um, but it might not be
So
4K.
So yeah, you're not okay. So you're asking if a Canva video is upscaled to 4K? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like yeah, when it
I
says
don't
like
think so.
ready for streaming. Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't I It's very seldom that I will create a video on Canva with my AI images. It's not my preferred editor. Let me say that.
No, it's
Okay.
difficult. It's terrible even.
Yeah, I mean, you're only going to get so much. You're only going to get so much. Yes, Glenn.
So so I have Kriya, and do you use Kriya? I can't remember if you did.
Korea. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you have options to a lot of platforms for video. On
Yes.
any of them, when I try to extend, it doesn't actually extend it from the last frame from where I ended.
Mhm.
It kind of starts it again, and then it might extend it a little bit, but then it loops again. It never really does a full, let's say, an additional 5 seconds or whatever like that. So I end up having to just screenshot the last frame
Oh,
and then start from there. I wonder
oh,
why that
wow.
doesn't work. It doesn't make sense to me why it doesn't extend in reality. It just it goes through
So,
like it always cycles back again. Like so, it'll do an extension for 5 new seconds.
so, so Korea is a platform. So this is what I have suggested to some people in the past. If for some reason you're saying, hey, listen, this is getting expensive and I cannot afford to have all of these platforms to pay subscriptions, I always say, well, try Kriya, because Kriya is one of those platforms where you can go and you can get all of the you can have access to Kling, to Halo, to Luma, to all of them all in one for one subscription, right? Because they have the API for those particular platforms on their platform. But here's where there's a drawback, in my opinion. The drawback is that you don't get access to all of the updates as if you if you like Luma, if Luma updates today, that update may not be on the API, which is what Kriya is using.
I
Same
didn't
thing with
realize that. Yeah.
Imagine. Yeah. And so like as a now I don't know if this is the case for all of them, but I know for a fact with Luma, like I've been on some creator there may be some of you here that are also creative partners with Luma. I think Lisa, are you creative partner with Luma? You notice how they'll mention, so they'll say that. And so I particularly like to just go straight to the source. That's just my take on it. But I'm getting ready to show you now, shut down some windows. And so now I can show you guys what I was talking about on some really good perks that some of the others will do. And I got my speed back. So did that answer your question, Glenn?
I'm not sure. I guess when I think of
It may be.
common sense tells me when you hit extend,
Yeah,
before I started doing videos, it extends where the
it
frame
should
ends, and then
extend
it
from right
extends
there.
another 5 or 10 seconds, whatever you're paying for it at that point. But I found that isn't the
Yep.
case. It just starts over
Yep.
again And so you can't really use the first thing that you did with the second thing because it's just a loop basically on
Yeah.
all the platforms. Let's say I do the first 5 seconds.
Yeah,
I
I
then say
don't
I want
have
to extend it. I hit extend and it
hmm
makes it
Uh-huh.
starts over again and makes 10 seconds. So it's almost like it repeats the first thing that I did.
Yes.
What
Yes, it helps.
if you do the first thing in 5 seconds? I thought the word extend would mean you get the 5 seconds that you did a new 10 seconds, which adds up to 15.
Oh wow.
It all just
So
starts
it
over again and then so it makes if you want it for 5 seconds, if you want to extend it, it just adds 5 more seconds to it, not
so
repeating itself.
so okay, when right. So when I second, so it makes extended 4 seconds. Instead of me now having a 5 second video, I have a 9 second video. And so it is a smooth transition
Yes, it
into
is. It
the
absolutely is.
extension.
I guess
Okay.
it's just unfortunate it doesn't take into account the first thing you did, at the end of the first thing you did. It should to me it should start there and then add and then
And then
extend.
add and then give you some more.
But it doesn't. So
Yeah,
then you'd
no.
have 15 seconds, let's say, in total.
Yeah.
It doesn't really do that. It starts over and then adds the 4 or 5 seconds.
Yes. I
So,
understand exactly.
all right. Well, it's good to know that that they all seem to do that. So I guess
Yeah. They do. They all do that. Now, everyone, I want you to keep in mind that a lot of the video platforms, you can also do text to video, meaning you can start in that video platform with your text, with your image. I've been this whole time speaking about if you're just creating your image in Mid-Journey and then you're going into the video platform. You can also create your initial image in the video platform. You won't get a static image, but what you will get is you'll get that image into, that you'll get the video basically. Okay. And that's your text to video. I personally will do text to video sometimes in Loom, but because a lot of my videos are dependent upon the images that I'm doing in Midjourney, I'll just be very consistent and keep everything in Midjourney. So what I wanted to show you guys was this. And a couple of these platforms. So I wanted to just show you some of the little tricks that some of them can do. So for in go to video, Kling has now 2.0 Kling, but it takes 100 credits. I'm not working with it. Okay. I'm not doing 100 credits on Kling. I'll go back. I'll always revert back to Kling 1.6, which is just fine. Okay. So one of the things that I like about Kling is the multi-elements feature. So with Kling, you can do your text to video, like what I'm showing here. You can do your image to video, where you drop an image into Kling and then you turn it into a video and you can prompt that video. One of the things that I really like is the multi-elements, where you can take an element of one image, totally different image, and another image, and you can go up to 4 images and put them all into one video. Okay. I love this feature. I've used this feature before, and I'm going to see if I can find that image, that video that I did where I had a clown car, and I wanted the clown car to go into to come into this other environment. And I took one image of the clown car, and let me see if I can find it in my assets. I took an image of the clown car, and then I took the room that I wanted it to drive out of and put them together and came up with a really cool video that I was just like, wow, how did I get this? And now I have so much in here, y'all, and I wasn't prepared, but I don't know. I don't want to waste your time trying to find it. but that's what multi-elements in Kling will do. Okay. And then you have your image to video as well, where you can just drop some things in and then you put your prompts in. And then again, you do have the ability to have some camera control in Kling as well. Let's see, what else? One good thing about Kling, you can generate sound as well as you can generate sound from Luma. So if you have an image, video that you've created in Luma, once you've created that video, you can ask Luma to create sound with that video. So that's a good thing as well. Got like 17 comments. Was that for me? In the comment section?
I asked
What,
where the lip sync button went.
where what went?
The lip sync feature in Kling.
Here it is
Luma,
right here.
where?
In Kling, it's the lips. Down here
Oh, there you go.
on the left-hand
Okay.
side, you can have
Yep.
a lip sync. Luma, I'm sorry, Kling will lip sync and Runway will lip sync. Okay. So that's something to remember. Both Kling and Runway will lip sync. Okay. All righty. And let's see. And then you have your extend here. Okay, so Hailu, here's Hailu. And Hailu has your image to video as well as your text to video. And they even have what's called a subject reference in Hailu. And you can create your images in Hailu too. I personally, again, I believe that Midjourney is the best when it comes to that. I'll show you guys the end result video real quick because I know we're at the 5 o'clock hour or at the hour. So I will pull up that video real quick and show you how that end video went with that dystopian scene that happened. Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me turn off the camera. And then I'll open up for any questions that you guys may have as and offer to come back and do a more thorough
Oh, that's
a more
been
thorough workshop for you.
so fantastic, Kimberly. Oh my God, I can't thank you enough. I'm sending you a bottle of virtual wine in the mail right now for
Yo,
sending
I'll
in.
take it.
Thank
I'll
you.
take it.
Uh,
I'll take the
okay.
virtual wine. That I will do. Okay, hold on real quick. I'll show you guys the end result. I don't think I can play the sound, but you'll get the picture when I show you the video. Let's see. Okay, here it is. All right. Oh no, sorry. Here it is. Okay. So let me share one more time and then I will release you guys. All right. Okay, so here was the end video. And there is no sound, but I'll just let you guys watch it. And there's the cars. And as you can see, I kind of I sped this one up. That was that one that I showed you. This scene, I just asked for some wind to blow. And as you can see in the edit, that's what brought this video to life. So don't get frustrated. I was really pleased with this right here. She looked like she was like, what's going on? Here's that car that was hitting that one. I made it look as if there was this explosion, in the background. It worked out. Here's that one shaky scene from Luma. This was on my Instagram page, and if you could imagine, Phil Collins in the Air Tonight was playing, so it was like really appropriate. Everybody's looking at the explosion, and that was the end of the video. So this is one of those instances where all the mistakes kind of worked out. Everything kind of worked out. really well, and it's all in the edit. So yeah,
Yeah, that's
so
amazing,
that's that.
Kimberly. So fantastic. Thank you so much for that. I know we're up for time. Hopefully, if we addressed everyone's questions, hopefully. That was super amazing, and thank you for stepping in and yeah, always fantastic. We had a few comments. We could listen to Kimberly over and over and over every week, every week. So we thank you again for those of us who joined last time and saw you share more wonderful things again today. Thank you for the new people that joined us. We're going to reconvene on Julia. We're so sorry for what happened, time zone, differences. So we'll reconvene on Julia, so stay tuned, and thank you again so much for joining us. Thank you, Kimberly. I hope you all enjoyed that, and thanks everyone. Keep an eye on our LinkedIn, in our school group for updates and videos. And yeah, that was epic and really inspiring and kind of really clear breakdown. Yeah, it was epic, everyone. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah,
All
brilliant.
right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. See you
Thank
later.
you. Yeah, Star Wars, desert vibes, Star Wars. Yep, love that. But Mad Max, but like June. Yeah, love that vibe completely got going on. It's so cool. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Now we'll wrap up now. And thanks so much for everyone for coming and hanging out. Yeah. And we'll see you soon for next week's masterclass. Yeah. See you all. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.